standard means that it was seen and known previously. I'm contesting that nobody got enough out of the bodily platform, even as Kanistakaris, to be able to even understand what Prabhupada's platform was.
Mhm.
That their whole movement has been based as a sort of like an act of faith, saying, okay, we're doing what Prabhupada said to do. But who understands what Prabhupada said to do? Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because if they did, they wouldn't
Right.
be doing what they're doing right now. Aha,
Yes.
Haribol.
Yes. Amir
Yeah,
Ghosh Prabhu's here.
Yeah. So they wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now if they had understood at any point what Prabhupada wanted. They just got what to do. And what is doing? Doing is physical activity and some mental activity, but not very much mental activity, just enough mental activity to guide the body into doing physical deeds.
Yeah, that's my experience with associating with this ISKCON Sacramento people. They were not so-called ISKCON at one time, but we were still just doing activities. We never had any deep philosophical discussions, outside the bodily conception of life. Just doing stuff, book distribution, numbers. It was fun, but it was fun, but we were not getting anywhere.
Right. Fun because like kids in the sandbox are having fun.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're playing.
Right.
They're exercising their body. They're learning new things. They're doing new things. They're associating with people. They're getting ideas from each other. But that's all bodily platform.
Right.
Bodily mental platform.
Very limited.
Yeah.
How do we get beyond that? Is to try to see what is the purpose from Lord Chaitanya to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, to Prabhupada, and then us for the next 10,000 years.
So that's one of the reasons why we're going back to the Palgun Krishna Panchami today. I think a lot of Andrew Ananda Prabhu might have heard about it. Amir Ghosh Prabhu has probably not heard about it, but he'll hear about it today. So I'll share the link.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Seeing you is a pleasure. It's a great honor and pleasure to see you, Amir Ghosh.
Hare
I'm so satisfied. Your energy is so impeccable that it makes us all lifted up in our consciousness.
He's very attentive. He's a very attentive listener. I've noticed that he's a very good listener.
Look at his picture. His heart, his mind, his body is united in pranam, which is he's an amazing person. He's from Bengal. What more need I say?
What state are you?
Bangla.
What state are you from?
Bangla Bhalo.
He comes from Howrah area, right?
West Bengal, Prabhuji, West Bengal.
West Bengal.
Yeah. Howrah district?
Guess I missed something.
Did you say
Hooghly, Prabhuji, Hooghly.
Oh,
Hooghly. Hooghly. Where is Hooghly?
Just a little.
My village, Mahamaya.
How far from Chandrodaya Mandir? About what? 20 minutes or 10 minutes? Hooghly? Before?
Mayapur,
Yeah.
Chandrodaya Mandir.
Yes.
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, it's 2 hours. Okay,
2 hours.
Acha.
Hooghly. Oh, Hooghly. Is that where the airport is?
No, Prabhuji, the airport is in Dum.
Airport is in Dum. So Hooghly, where is it from?
Kolkata?
Howrah Hugli পাশাপাশি Howrah Hugli.
Acha, acha.
Where? It's north, it's south, it's east, it's west. Part of Calcutta?
Yes, part of Calcutta.
Is it
Acha.
Hooghly? What is what does Hooghly do? What is done in Hooghly? What's the main thing?
Industry? Are you talking about industry or what?
Well, industry or airport or something, you know? There's something must be there.
Oh. Acha. What's the main
It's
sort
my
of
bad
business
memory,
there?
you know?
Okay, say at first there was jute mills, Sirampur jute mills, Hind
Okay.
motor factory, and Prabhuji, no, you will understand. Sorry, the Ramakrishna missions, Belur Mott is in Belur Mott is in Hooghly.
Acha.
Yes,
I have to get a map. Okay, well, let's get on with our business or our work.
Yes.
And I just want to encourage everyone, don't think about what we're going to do with the knowledge. That's not the point. When Prabhupada preached, he didn't preach what to do with the knowledge. He preached the knowledge, and we caught the knowledge and then started doing it. And then Prabhupada would comment and help us. So we don't have to try to plan to do something for something. That's, again, a refined form of bodily consumption. Okay, here, what do we got?
Oh, one second, Narayan Prabhu. I shared the wrong link. Where is it? I shared it in the WhatsApp.
Yeah. I think we should try to avoid anything that Bhavananda comes up with, because I'm very suspicious of his comment about Prabhupada making comments about talking with Krishna to come to Earth to publish books. I don't think that happened. I don't think that Prabhupada said that.
It said what? Remind me what he said.
Okay. Prabhupada books. I'm trying to share the screen, but is it not loading?
Yes, loading.
It says it is. It claims to be.
Huh. It's interesting. Do you see the white screen? That's all we see, right? The white screen?
White screen.
White screen, yes. White screen.
1 second. Oh, there you go. It's loaded finally.
It was taking its time.
Oh yeah. I remember that we went over this during January, about the middle of January. We're going over this subject.
Prabhu, when we start out, I think we should because we haven't been here in a long time, why don't we quickly read without much commentary through the first Vashishta, and what if Amir Ghosh does the reading?
Amir Ghosh, Prabhu, you can go ahead and read, Prabhu. You can unmute yourself and read. There was some background noise coming, so I muted you. So if any background noise comes, I'll mute myself or someone else, whoever's there. So Amir
Yes,
Ghosh,
Prabhuji,
Prabhu, you can read. This is
Prabhuji, there is a background music. There is a function is going on. So you should mute me.
Okay. You please unmute yourself, and if you want to make a comment, a question, you can just unmute yourself and then speak. All right? Sounds good.
So who's going to read? Who's going to read?
I'll read, Narayan Prabhu. I'll read. Okay. Amir Ghosh Prabhu, please mute yourself. Thank you. So this is a Vyasa Puja offering from Srila Prabhupada, offering to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, 1961. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay, the first Vashishta, this is on his, what is it? Does it say appearance day or disappearance day? Appearance day, yes. Vyasa Puja is appearance day, right, Prabhu? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, on that day, in pain of separation, O Lord, I was grief-stricken, unable to tolerate being apart from my spiritual master. Number 2, on today's auspicious occasion to offer you worship, I have come with this offering, remembering your lotus feet. Number 3, Mahaprabhu's principal conclusion is that renunciation is prime. Not only that, but it is to be distributed to everyone. Number 4, the neophytes have no ability to make any solution, but you are a Mahabhagavata, and you have given us direction. Number 5, bewildered by ignorance, what kind of renouncers can they be? They are simply false renouncers, giving up externally. Number 6, real renunciation comes from transcendental feelings. Without such feelings, a renouncer is known simply as a show bottle. Number 7, but there is another show bottle with preaching as its purpose, the Lord's sannyas, which is the defeat of the impersonalists. Number 8, Lord Chaitanya's teachings are beyond Varnashram Dharma. They are Bhagavad Dharma and destroy all cheating processes of religion. Number 9, performing dry renunciation, preaching will not be successful. Yukta Vairagya is the essence of all Chaitanya philosophy. Number 10, the sannyas I have given you is for preaching in devotion. The atheistic sense enjoyers are bewildered in the understanding. So, Narayan Prabhu, maybe you can read, or Ananda Prabhu can read the second Vashishta, please.
Well, you make up your mind.
Second Vaishistya.
Yes.
11.
Number 11. Yes.
The sannyasis go and stay in the mountain caves, but you, master, keep your sannyasis in marble mansions. 12. To see a sense enjoyer's face is just like drinking poison, but you, master, are giving your darshan here and far away in foreign lands. 13. Mlechas and Yavanas are not allowed to enter Hindu temples, but you, master, make them the chairman and sit them in the assembly. 14.
Wow.
To cross the ocean is not allowed for Hindus, but you send your devotees across the ocean. 15. In Kali Yuga's cities, the Guru's instructions are forbidden, but you remain there anyway with your special purpose in mind. 16. The devotees want to go to some lonely place to perform their bhajan alone, but you don't accept this in your judgment. 17. Where there is an increase in the measurement of people, there your preaching work is to be seen. 18. You want to make a student hostel in London, and you explain it must be nicely arranged. 19. In the land of barbarians, a student hostel for preaching Harikatha. Who can understand all these things? 20. To mitigate all these contradictory ideas is not the trifling act of an inexpert and inexperienced person.
Jai, Narayan Prabhu, your turn. 21.
I like the way he's reading. Can he continue? Or you want me to read? I can read.
Yeah.
But I really like the way he's reading. But,
no, it's 3 people, so everyone reads. You read, Narayan Prabhu, now.
Divide the mercy.
Okay, so who's reading?
You
Narayan Prabhu. You are.
Okay. Which one are we reading? Which number?
21. 21.
Could you lower? Okay. Could you lower it down a fraction? You can't. Okay. 21. If everyone sat down together and carefully considered, then what nice preaching there could be. 22. After all, that is Prabhupada's command for all to join together to do this preaching work merged in your instructions. That's what we're trying to do. If you, 23, if you simply imitate, there will be opposite results. Can you lift?
Is this better? Number 23.
23.
Number 23.
Yeah. If you simply imitate, there will be opposite results. For as long as you try like that, there will be failure. It's like, you know, not realizing, or if a person obeys the regulator principle or follows the Krishna conscious program, imitating, they will get some benefit, but it will not ultimately turn out well. But if they become realized, it will not be failure. He says, 24. Now all of you are returning here on his order to worship him on his Vyas Puja day. Altogether, you are engaged in his worship. 25. But a festival of flowers and fruits is not the real worship. Can you lift? It's oh, wait a second. Oh,
25.
okay.
We're at 25.
25, okay. But a festival of flowers and fruits is not the real worship. One who serves the Guru's message really worships him. The service of that's our goal. The service of the message is the real transcendental vibration. Don't be falsely proud, brother. Come back to that. 27. Kalidas Nag, the master Masay, one day said in the public assembly, 28, that Kali Yuga's mission was killing the whole world, and Lord Chaitanya's mission is locked in a cage. 29, oh shame, brother. Aren't you at all embarrassed, behaving like businessmen to increase your followers? Number 30, our master is said to preach. Let the neophytes go in the temples and do nothing but ring bells. Somebody continues, or I continue?
I'll continue. Fourth Vasishta. All these are not our master's preaching methods. These are the things done by the caste Goswamis. 32. But just take a look at the miserable condition that's arisen. Everyone has become a sense enjoyer and has abandoned preaching. 33. Now the temple doors are starting to be locked. Go and preach this Bhagavad Dharma. Don't delay any longer. 34. Within this earth, there is another earth whose sound is unequaled, penetrating, whose sound is the unequal penetrating force. Number 35. There is a Bengali proverb, the mullah runs just as far as the mosque and no further, but an end to this false preaching today. 36. Up to the borders of the seas, all over the earth, pierce the walls of this universe, all assembled together preach the transcendental vibration. 37. Then our master's worship will be in proper order. Today make your firm promise, give up your political play. Number 38. On this very day, coming together, make your commitment, the five of you together, and decide. Okay, go ahead. Jai Prabhu. Naran Prabhu, you wanted to make a comment, please?
No. I was just saying, on this very day, coming together, make your comment, the five of you together,
comment.
and decide what must be done. But you can read it, so I not need to interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay, it's okay. I thought you wanted to make a comment. I said,
No.
okay, 38. On this very day, coming together, make your comment, the five of you together, and decide what must be done. Wow. 39. You have become renouncers, my brothers, so renounce everything. But if you renounce the instruction of your spiritual master, what kind of renunciation is that? 40. Those who renounces the bona fide spiritual master, or one who tries to enjoy at the expense of his spiritual master, are both useless. First become the servant of your spiritual master, then you will be able to understand these conclusions. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Quick
Now,
question.
how far did we go in commentary so far?
We
If
have
we've
went
gone
to the fourth. I think we should stop here and discuss some of these, or if or Narayan Prabhu can go.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead. Yes.
I had a
Go ahead.
question. And point 35, the term mula. Can you clarify? Can someone clarify what that means? The definition of that term?
Mullah.
Mullah.
It's a person. It's a Muslim priest.
A Muslim?
The mullah is a Muslim priest.
Oh,
So he's saying the priest goes only to the temple, to the mosque, and no further. In other words, he's not doing any preaching. He's just doing his religious thing inside the mosque.
Okay.
So that's the mullah. It would be like a pujari in our terms.
Right.
Okay.
They don't have
Narayan
the
Prabhu, please.
facilities of the holy name the same way we do.
What?
Saying they don't have the facility of the supreme holy name that we do, and distributing it.
No, that's what he's pointing out. He's making a Bengali comment that the mullah only goes to the mosque, meaning that he's not a preacher. He's just a mosque person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's trapped indoors, not preaching everywhere. He's
It's
contrasting that to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati.
He's only operating in formality and not from a real transcendental platform.
Right. Well, we can understand that to be true, but the bigger picture is that Prabhupada is creating a context to his godbrothers. It sounds as though there's only 5 of them present, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think these 5 are the prominent people. Like, yes, these 5 people here. That was number on this very day. Yeah, number 38. On this very day, coming together, make your comment, the 5 of you together, and decide what must be done.
So it wasn't a big crowd of disciples. It was 5. It looks like, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And he said, so you become renouncers, my brother, so renounce everything.
Renounce everything, right? Jai.
Well, we also I know we're commenting on the first 4. Are we also going to read the 5th for content when we're done with commenting?
Narayan Prabhuji, unmute yourself.
Elucidate. We need to go through it and elucidate what it was that Srila Prabhupada was getting at, talking to his godbrothers, presumably senior godbrothers. What was he doing talking to his godbrothers like this? And what was he accomplishing by it? You know, or what did he want to see accomplished? Remember, he had not yet come to America. If they wanted to nail him, they could have said, well, what about you, Swami? you sitting there in an ashram doing nothing, and you're telling us to preach. Why, if you're so smart, why don't you go and preach? This is
Right.
1961. This is years,
Yeah.
several years before he comes to America. So he could be criticized for it, but I don't know if he was or not, but whatever he said was pretty like a dagger to the heart of his godbrothers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. During that time, 1961, was the first 3 cantos published? The first canto in 3 volumes. What year was it published? Any ideas? Was it 1961?
I don't have the idea. I have original ones somewhere, but I don't have them with me.
That's a good question, though, huh? Was it published? I'll look it up. But anyways, it's an interesting question because he made that.
Yeah, he published all 3 volumes before coming to America. When did he come to America? 1965?
Yes,
Yeah.
1965.
Yeah.
So there's a gap of a couple of years, maybe 3-4 years.
Right, right.
When he came, he brought trunk loads of the Bhagavatams.
Right. That's yeah. Apparently, he must have been studying and writing if the books were not published at that time in 1961. Right?
Maybe.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Well, hard to say, right? How would we
Yeah.
know?
No, I mean, if it was not published, that means that it was not published. If it was published, then it was published. And
Yeah, but what difference does that make to this all good Krishna Panchami?
no, to that point, that Prabhupada was writing books and getting ready for the mission. You know, his spiritual master's order. If you get money, print books. That was my point. That he was already working on it, or it had been already published.
If you get money, print books. Who said that?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
And you read it where?
Prabhupada says it. Prabhupada says
it wasn't that quote from Bhavananda.
No, not from Bhavananda. It was from no. Amiya Ghosh Prabhu, unmute yourself. Yes.
Prabhupada ji, one of his lectures said this.
Yes. Yeah, you have heard it, huh? Very good. Try. So let me put it up back on the screen so we can have a discussion.
Yeah, good idea.
Let's see, share screen. I don't know why it kicked it out. Anyways, share. It's loading. There you go. In the previous videos, we have covered first Vashishta. We have covered the second Vashishta. And let's see, third Vashishta. I think let's start from 21.
That's we already covered, I think, haven't we?
Oh, we have covered, huh? Acha. Festival of Flowers.
We can start from we can do that if you want.
No, let's start from where we think we stopped. Narayan Prabhu, where do you think we stopped? Oh.
Which Vasista were we on?
Right now we're on third.
No. When we stopped before.
Oh, you're
going on 5. Going on to
we're going on.
Oh, which was? Are you talking about when we finished some time ago or today?
Yes.
Today?
Some time ago.
Where we didn't get to the 7th Vasista?
No, not the 7th. No. Anyways,
Okay,
let's start.
It doesn't matter. We can reduplicate ourselves. There's some shame in that.
Yes, let's start from the third from 21.
Okay.
If everyone sat down together and carefully considered, then what nice preaching there could be. So in what context is Srila Prabhupada saying this? On the order of his spiritual master to, before passing away, he said that they should collectively push on the mission of Rupa and Raghunatha, right?
Yes.
But that was the...
What he is saying is that he is inviting or suggesting that they should do what we are doing on the Zoom call. If everyone sat down together and carefully considered, then what nice preaching there could be. Well, this is what we're trying to do, is sitting down together in our different countries and carefully considering, and then there will be nice preaching. That's what he predicts, and that is what he orders. This is really more than just a comment. It's a direction, a directive. And then he says that that is from his spiritual master. After all, that is Prabhupada's command for all to join together to do this preaching work merged in your instructions, not merged in our interpretation of what we read, but merged in the instructions themselves. Does that make sense? That we don't try to talk about the Shastras or talk about what to do or what does that mean. No, he says to join together and do this preaching work merged in your instructions, meaning being guided by the sound vibration of the spiritual master. And here's the proof of what I just said. If you simply imitate, there will be the opposite result. For as long as you try like that, there will be failure. Imitating. So people like that, when they lecture, when Prabhupada was here, people would give lectures and they would clear their throats like Prabhupada, and they would touch their lips or nose like the way Prabhupada would. They were imitating Prabhupada without any particularly good result because they were not Prabhupada. They didn't have the Siddhanta. Now he says, now all of you are returning here on this order to worship him on this Vyas Puja day. Altogether, you are engaged in his worship. Now he's saying that as a category, he's categorically saying that, but that was not necessarily their mentality when they came there. It's not that they were returning here on his order to worship him. They just said, it's Vyas Puja, let's worship him. It's the right thing to do on Vyas Puja. That's right. the material thinking. But Prabhupada's turning it into a transcendental occasion by saying, you are returning here on his order to worship him on his Vyas Puja day. Altogether, you are engaged in his worship. When he said altogether you're engaged in his worship, you could have added when donkeys fly. They were not here engaged in his worship. They were there to do a pious act, which they felt was their duty as part of their sannyas or whatever order they had, and that would helpfully help them in the hereafter.
Right.
But Prabhupada made it very clear. Yes?
Yeah, in some degree, that is happening in Srila Prabhupada's institution, the ISKCON. Now all of you are returning here on this order to worship him on his Vyasa Puja. So my criticism is that if they had followed the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada, we would have had thousands and millions of centers, temples all over the world. And in that way,
particularly if they were all independently incorporated, there'd be nowhere to stop
then
them.
it will be more flourished. Flourished.
Yeah.
If for thousands of temples, then the elected GBC would be working overtime, running herd on them to make sure they were all doing the right thing in the right way and not running into any offenses, mental speculation or stuff like that that would disturb their mission. So that's what the GBC was supposed to do, is go around and make sure each individual temple was functioning according to the order of the spiritual master, and that the sadhana was going on exactly as taught by Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, such a powerful force.
Yeah.
It could have been. Or
so imitation clearly means bodily consumption.
Right.
If you imitate, it's like a child imitating someone. He's learning while he imitates, but as he imitates, he's not the real speaker. He is just learning the style of the real speaker without necessarily the content of the real speaker. You see, the child is a child, but if he mimics the adult who's talking about things way beyond his comprehension, then his speaking is, shall we say, his speaking is imitative. So if you simply imitate, there will be opposite result. Why? Because the content is not there. Or as long as you try like that,
then
there will be failure.
It becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. Because imitation does not produce a result. It actually prevents a result because people listening to you imitating are prevented from reaching siddhanta or conclusion. Now, all of you are retreating. Okay, we're engaged in this worship.
Ramachandra Bauji, unmute yourself. Ramachandra Bauji, unmute yourself.
Oh,
Okay, can
there you go. Yes. So anyone else wants to comment, please? 24 or 99, Prabhu? Anyone? Okay. Then let's move on to number 25. But a festival of flowers and fruits is not real worship. One who serves the Guru's message really worships him. So can we say that Srila Prabhupada's message or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's message is the same as Srila Prabhupada, and that was given in Srila Prabhupada's incorporation of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? And what deeper meaning does it have? I guess for us to understand that, we have to read the books. Like for regarding the Guru issue, we've been studying for the past few months and having a discussion about it. You know, but a festival of flowers and fruits is not real worship. One who serves the Guru's message.
Prabhuji, unmute yourself.
I am unmuted. Oh,
no, I wasn't unmuted. But yes, but what he's really saying is the ritual of putting up the flowers and fruits as an offering is not the real worship.
Right.
He is saying, are you surrendered to the siddhanta of Bhakti Siddhanta? Are you surrendered to your spiritual master's mission, or are you simply going through the motions with the flowers and fruits? In other words, are you being the Kanista Adhikari, or are you being the serious, or are you being show model, or are you being the real McCoy? Are you really worshiping him? But he's just saying the message of the Guru's message, but in not association, nor in the association with ISKCON, people are unwilling to talk about the Guru's message. So what to speak of serving, they won't even discuss it. What to speak of serving it. They think, well, we know what to do. We sell books, we sell hats and flowers and stickers. Those are all transcendental things. You know, that's what they do. But that's not the meaning of this verse. This verse means what we're doing is the meaning of this verse. We're trying to discover, understand, and realize and share and unite on the Guru's message, our Guru's message, the same message, same Guru. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta and all the other gurus in the line are all the same guru. They are not deviating from one another. That's where the ISKCON gurus have thrown us off. The initiators have thrown us off because each one of them thinks they have to be an individual doing his own thing with his own ideas. Otherwise, what is he? Just a priest of some sort. How can he show himself off as an individual guru? But that's not the point. The point is the Siddhanta, not the behavior. Bhaktisiddhanta had the same message, exact same message as Prabhupada. But he was very austere and strict. Prabhupada was very kindly and loving. But the message in the side was the same. Imitating Prabhupada's kind and loving style will simply mislead the person who's trying to do it into thinking that he's found Prabhupada's way of doing. Even if he's trying that, which he may not be. That's not the point. The point isn't the style of Prabhupada. The point is the context of the message of the Guru. And that is real worship. Okay, he says, yes, Prabhu?
I mean,
they are able to follow the paramparas.
Yes, exactly. The parampara is one, but it comes in a myriad of forms. There's so many different languages, styles, personalities, etc. But if you look at the sampradaya, inside, it's one. The essence is there, and that is what makes it sampradaya. It is a transparent, it's like a lens or like a complicated lens for a long distance camera or telescope. The lenses are all there, and they're all transparent, and they all add to the brilliance of the image. So that's what the sampradaya is doing. It is a line of lenses, each one transparent. And then you get to an ISKCON Kanista initiator, and there you have an almost opaque lens in the line of the transparent brilliant ones. And then people wonder why it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Spiritually speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've experienced. No one talks about Kanishta, Madhya, Uttamadhikari. No one talks about the qualifications and what Prabhupada has said about the guru issue. No one talks about the direction of management. No one talks about, they do talk about Krishna, but they read the verse. They read the verse, and someone comments, and then prasadam, and then go home.
Yeah. So the essence is that it's the message, not the form, that counts.
Right. Yes, the message.
It's like the Festival of Flowers and Fruits is sort of like the ritualistic form of worship. You do that, and you do it in any event, whether you're sincere or not sincere, you do the same thing. But the thing is, he's pointing out that's not the real worship. One who serves the Guru's message. And what is that message? It's, well, Prabhupada earlier in the Falgun Krishna Panchami, he says he gives direction. What is that direction? That direction is vertical. What is that vertical direction? It is the Sampradaya itself. It's a shaft coming down from Balaram that's transparent. And there's lenses in that shaft that cause to add brilliance to the conclusions that are being delivered down. It's not like it's, monkey see, monkey do. It's coming down with realization and enhancements from each of the acharyas. So as you come down, you get the benefit of all the acharyas coming down through the last acharya, namely Srila Prabhupada.
So
the next 1,000 years.
One might argue that, hey, you people are just talking and criticizing ISKCON. We here are distributing thousands and thousands of worth of dollars of books. We are establishing temples. We're getting people together. We're doing festivals. So how?
Yeah. Well, if the books are unchanged, that's wonderful. If the books are somewhat changed, it's not as wonderful. But the point is, yes, they're doing these different actions. What is the action? It's the bodily conception. And they're doing it well. There's nothing against the Kanistha Adhikari distributing Prabhupada's books, thinking that he's his body. Right? Why would that be a problem?
Yes, it's not a problem.
Yeah. Why would it be a problem for the Kanistha Adhikari to be doing all these things and opening all these temples? After all, the temples are required by and for the Kanistha Adhikaris. The Uttama Adhikari doesn't require a temple. The Madhyama Adhikari doesn't really require a temple. It's only the Kanistha Adhikari that needs a place to go with his wife and children and friends to a temple. And then sit there overcoming his householder anartha vibrations, so that when he's sitting in the temple, he gets purified by the atmosphere generated by the murti of Krishna and the shastra being read by the pujari or by the lecturer. So that's the point, you see. It's right. The Kanistha Adhikari does all of the things you mentioned, and that's what they should do. The Uttama Adhikari doesn't require a book. And the Madhyama Adhikari has already read all the books. So it's the Kanistha Adhikari that needs the books. And the people distributing the books out into the public means that there are more Kanistha Adhikaris sprouting up like grass or like wheat plants, green wheat plants. They're sprouting up, and then they can be harvested over to the Kanistha Adhikari Association. So Kanistha Adhikari is glorious. It's a gathering spot for beginners who have given up the anarthas that they follow the regulated principles. And they rise early, they come to the temple, they chant, they read, they buy Krishna book and read it to their children, and then their children can read it to each other. I mean, that's the whole idea for the Kanistha Adhikari. Nothing wrong there. What we're looking at is how to advance the platform, how to realize there's more than that, so that the Kanistha Adhikaris don't become patting each other on the butt, saying, oh, this is what it's all about. Oh, yes, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Well, it's not what it's all about. That is the process of finding out what it's all about. And that occurs on the Madhyama Adhikari platform, not on the Kanistha platform. So it's wonderful to be a Kanistha Adhikari, but it's not wonderful to remain a Kanistha Adhikari forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every year, BBTI, they're trying to increase the book distribution by at least 10%, and they're doing it very wonderfully, and we're helping them somehow. But these higher levels of Krishna consciousness, Kanishta, Madhya, Uttama Adhikari, it's barely talked about. I've seen many lectures in the ISKCON temples. Maybe they do it behind closed doors, but out in the public, just like we're doing it, it's unheard of.
Okay. Suppose what?
Prabhuji, I have a Bengali Bhagavad Gita book. As it is, it has misses the original 48 plates. There is only 18 plates.
Oh,
what did he say?
It's missing the pictures. It's the Bengali Bhagavad Gita is missing the pictures that the original Bhagavad Gita has. That's a good information. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, no pictures at all.
No, missing.
There is only 18 pictures. Original contains 48 plates, and there is only 18 here.
That probably they did that to save money. So it's expensive to print 18 than it is to print 40.
But what I am saying, Prabhuji, that plates, opens our eyes.
Mm, mm.
The
Right.
plates were very valuable. I read online.
I'm sorry?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, he's saying the plates that are missing, it opens the eyes, which is missing, and he reads
Well,
it
yes.
online.
Maybe they assume that in Bengal they already know a lot about the Gita, so they don't need as many pictures to get them pulled into the text. But I don't know the reason for that. But we're still here in the Falgun Krishna Panchami.
All right. So where are we
He
at
says-
now? Go ahead. No,
Well, we're in
25.
25, no, 26. We come
26
to
now.
the service of the message is the real transcendental vibration. Don't be falsely proud, brother. Come back to that. Well, what does he mean? Don't be falsely proud. He said, I am proud because I know the answer and I am the expert and I am the authority. I am initiated. I have the knowledge. Don't be falsely proud, brother. Come back to the transcendental vibration, which is beyond the Kanista Adhikari mentality. You see, these scriptures are here for the Kanista Adhikaris, but it's not to keep them as Kanista Adhikaris, it's to get them to come out and go further than Kanista Adhikari.
Right, right.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, yes.
The transcendental vibration. What is the trans? That's the inner core of the Hare Krishna mantra, not the movement of the lips, not the movement of the tongue, not the taking of the breath, but the vibration itself. Hare Krishna is in itself the focus of our life, not that we do it and that doing it is the focus of our life. The Kanista Adhikari, at least at the beginning, before he gets absorbed in what he's doing, he is going through chanting the mantra to create the sound, not to immerse himself in the siddhanta of the sound. If he gets into the sound and it comes through him, through his heart, into his mind, and out through his mouth, and into the ears of those who are around, then that experience is actually.
Ramachandra, are you driving?
Who?
Ramachandra, are you driving again?
No, I'm in my car, sitting in my car. I'm in my car.
Not driving, na?
No, not driving. Why?
Not driving, na?
No, I'm not driving. I'm not driving. I'm sitting in my car.
It's also his office.
Then that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, I'm not driving.
That's
No,
okay.
this
His
is my
car
office.
also serves as an office space / discussion, facility.
Everything.
We cannot miss you. We cannot miss you. That again, yesterday, Narayan Prabhuji doing that. Don't do that dangerous work.
Oh, thank
Your
you.
concern is very much appreciated. It's all in Krishna's mercy, isn't it?
Right.
Everything that may happen, isn't it all Krishna's mercy?
Are you all getting the essence of what these shlokas are saying? Or are you interested in what they're saying?
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Are you interested in the distinction that Srila Prabhupada is trying to create to separate their inadequate preaching, their inadequate realization and mentality, to separate that from the authentic message of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? Are we concentrating on that, or are we getting caught up in trivia?
I don't think we're getting concerned about trivia because we've been discussing it, and
Well, but we're talking about cards and talking about this, and, you know,
Oh.
that's serious talk.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no, Narayan Prabhuji. I am saying that Prabhupada also did not told us to join a meeting while driving, and you yesterday you are doing that. That is so dangerous.
Oh yes.
Well, I had to do it, but when I got back to my place, I stopped doing it. I was delivering a birthday present to my 6-year-old boy, and I had to deliver it then, and I didn't want to miss the Zoom call, so I was participating while driving. Yet I was concentrating on the road with no danger at all to me. There was no traffic either.
Okay, so let's continue.
Ora
Yeah.
So why don't you start reading and commenting? It seems that people are resisting what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't think people are resisting, Prabhu. Well,
They're
let's
certainly
see.
not merging into the realization.
how can you tell?
I think people are afraid of surrender. Right? When you say that people are genuinely afraid of surrender, because surrender means
Yes,
leaving the bodily, leaving the mental conception and the body conception for the transcendental understanding. And that transcendental understanding has nothing of mind and body about it. So we resist because we're trapped in the thinking, I don't want to get outside my body yet.
right.
So go ahead, Ramachandra
Okay,
Prabhu.
the number 27. Kalidas Nag, the master Messe, one day said in the public, this is not clear. What is number 27?
Yeah. Kalidas Nag, that master Mase, one day said in the public assembly, number 28.
Oh, then number 20. Oh. Well, I thought there was missing some text, but anyways, number 28.
No.
The Kali Yuga's okay. The Kali Yuga's mission was killing the whole world, and Lord Chaitanya's message is locked in a cage.
Hard to understand.
Yeah, that Kali Yuga's message was killing the whole world, and Lord Chaitanya's message is locked in a cage. So what is Kali Yuga's message? Materialism?
Kali Yuga's mission? Kali
Yeah,
Yuga's
yes,
mission is to materialism.
Yes, yes.
Look outside your window. Look down the street. Turn on your television. That's all Kali Yuga's mission.
I see in and out my window.
Yeah, whatever you're seeing, that's Kali Yuga's mission. More so than 1961.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
In the second part of that, it says, and Lord Chaitanya's message is locked in a cage. Is that referring to the fact that his god brothers are not emphasizing taking it outside of India?
That's a good observation.
Is that
It's a good observation, but I think it means more than that. That they keep it locked in the cage. Their head can be a cage, and their heart can be a cage. You see, that we are keeping it inside, but not living it, and not broadcasting it.
That's another dimension to it. Jai.
Right.
Lord.
I see. Okay. So it could that could mean on different scales.
Definitely.
This transcendental message, it's not only the scale of the heart, but also a wider scale of propagating it outside of India, in the Western cultures.
Yeah, but I
Throughout
think
the
that
world.
he's referring to them that they keep their own bhakti in a cage for themselves.
Right. Okay.
Most ISKCON devotees are doing that. They chant inside of their bodies, try to make their body a more like a temple, and that's what they keep their mission. They don't. If they go out and sell books, they're selling books. If they go out and chant, they usually turn their butts towards the audience and chant towards each other. So, you know, what is the mission there?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hmm. That would explain why it's not spreading as why it wasn't spreading so much for, like, it's been
Right,
around for
because when
thousands of years.
Lord Chaitanya said, wherever you go, whomever you meet, simply speak of Krishna. Now, when you
Right.
see devotees, they talk to each other, but how many devotees go out and whoever they see, whoever they meet, they simply speak of Krishna? Generally, they sort of either pretend that they're karmis or they duck their heads so they other people can't see that they're devotees.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's number 29. You just
Yeah, well,
answered number 29.
that should explain number 28, right?
Yes, 28. Yeah. And then you made a comment, oh, shame, brother, aren't you at all embarrassed that we are not taking Lord Chaitanya's message to every town and village by talking to everyone? And you were saying that the devotees duck their head and you know, in shame.
Yeah. Oh, shame, brother, aren't you at all embarrassed behaving like businessmen to increase your followers? Jai Pataka, Prabhu?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Who's your guru?
Yeah. Who's my guru? The first question he asked me, who's your guru?
Businessman. And he's not even Jewish.
He's not Jewish, huh? I thought he was Jewish.
Jai Pataka? No.
I don't know.
He's a certain
Canadian?
type of German.
Oh, it's a German.
He associated with so many Jews who they were in GBC in the movement.
Oh, are you
He
sure?
was very closely with all of those. There were like what was it, 7 or 8 of the original those GBC, the 11 that took over Prabhupada's mission. I think about 7 or 8 of them were Jewish.
No, not at all. Name them. Jai Tirtha was half Arab and half German.
Okay.
Tamal was
Krishna.
Jewish. Tamal is Jewish. Was Bhagavan one of the originals?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he was Jewish. Jai Pataka was German. Bhavananda was Lithuanian, anti-Semite.
Hridayananda?
Kirtananda, Baptist. His father was a Baptist minister.
And
Who else?
Hridayananda.
He's Jewish. How about Satsvarup? Was Satsvarup one?
I don't know. Was Satsvarup Jewish or not? I don't know.
No, was he a original guru?
Satsvarup? No. Yes. Was he?
Okay, he was from a Roman Catholic background.
Okay. And who else is there?
Italian
Hamsadura was
Catholic.
German.
Huh?
Hamsadura was German.
German, yeah.
We've covered several. Probably not all was.
No,
I mean,
about
all, but
4 or 5
5.
of them were 4 or 5 out of 11 were Jewish.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's get back on the Kanishta platform. Oh, shame. Brother, aren't you at all embarrassed behaving like businessmen to increase your followers? So, a lot of these things about increasing followers means more money to the society or to the gurus.
Right.
And that is what Srila Prabhupada is commenting on.
But Prabhupada is also, yes, but getting followers also increases the Kanista membership, but it's not, they preach it, it's gathering people, not broadcasting the holy name.
Right. Yeah.
When you gather people in, then they're like people you've seduced, or they're your family members. They're yours. But
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when you broadcast in every town and village, with the way Lord Chaitanya did, and the way I described he did with that Gyani, who heard them chanting and merged into ecstasy. And when he went into all the towns and villages and flattened them, because they were all made of bamboo, chitai,
Right.
that all the houses were knocked down flat. Of course, being chitai, they could be put back up again fairly easily. All you have to do is stick the bamboo back in the ground and then put the woven bamboo back on the walls, and you got your house back again. But that's what happened with Lord Chaitanya. So he flooded the land. ISKCON was meant to flood the land, and we could have flooded the land even with temples if the temples had been allowed to individually incorporate. That way, in Los Angeles, you would have 3,000 or 4,000 temples, or maybe 20,000 temples, depending on how long, where you're talking about.
Certainly, I agree. For that reason, we don't
So
have
that's
any
one way of flooding, is to open millions of temples.
Right.
The other way of flooding is to go out on Sankirtan, not Harinam, on Sankirtan chanting and attract the transcendental melody coming from the lips of the pure devotee, full effect to be achieved. And then broadcasting in such a way that people are struck in their hearts by the purity of the sound vibration.
Right.
And that's what Prabhupada said earlier too. Come back to that inner message, not the external palaver or chit chat. The external chit chat is not required. It's the inner quality that's required. And when that inner quality is chanted through the Mahamantra in Sankirtan, people are automatically attracted. I know. I was there when that's all we did was Sankirtan 1969, and everybody went there. One thing you could tell about a temple in 1969, 68, 67, 68, 69, during the day, there was nobody in the temple. They were all out chanting. Nobody stayed back. Nobody had an office. And nobody sat there in a chair behind a desk trying to tell which person could have a toothbrush or toothpaste and which person couldn't.
There was no business going on back then.
Yeah, the temple commander used to make, the temple commander would have them out for free, but he put people through hell to get a toothbrush or anything like that. Why? Because he wanted them to bow down to him. Remember, it was saying somewhere we were talking about groveling to get something from the, where was Prabhupada said that the people have to grovel to get some benefit from the guru.
Oh, yeah, that was in the letter to Karandara in 1972 or something.
Yeah, that was an amazing document. Yes.
Were you talking about that document, or did I pull up the wrong one, or say the wrong one?
No, that's fine. That's what he said.
Yeah. So we're at number 30. Our master has said to preach. Let the neophytes go to the temples to do nothing but ring the bells. But ring bells, yes. We have just talked
neophyte
about this.
Means neophyte Kinestadikaris, not advanced Kinestadikaris.
Can Can neophytes also be lower than Kanishta Adhikaris? It seems like it could be.
No. Why would they go? Well, maybe they could be. They could be Hindus, say.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. It depends on what Prabhupada meant by the go to the temples and do nothing but ring the bells. If he's talking about non-Vaishnava temples, then it would mean less than Kanistadhikaris. Kanistadhikari begins when you say Aham Brahmasmi. Ringing the bell doesn't do much.
Right. Let's see. Well, we have went on for about an hour and 45 minutes. I think this has been very productive, much better than our previous meetings the last few days. So, anyone have any questions, discussions, or I'll end it here, and then we'll start number 4.
Chidananda didn't join us, huh?
Oh, Chidananda had to do something. He was busy today.
Okay.
And who else?
Jai.
You know, Prabhuji,
Yes.
in Hindu community, our Hindu people, they are go to temple. They go to temple. They worship the demigods, but they don't give up the meat eating bad habits. The 4 principle, regulative principle. They do not want to give them up. That's what Prabhupada is saying. That's the new fight.
So they're neophytes, yeah. That's the neophyte also. Yeah, I don't think he meant neophyte Vaishnavas. I think he was referring to people that, because India is full of temples everywhere.
Yes,
right.
they all eager to go temples and worship the demigods, but never want to, don't want to give up the meat eating.
Yeah.
They want to.
Well,
They want to.
Well, because
they
that's their.
Our Bengali people are very more enjoying fish eating.
Yeah. Well,
Fish, egg.
when I say in Punjabi Bagh in Ahmedabad in Gujarat, I've stayed there for months at a time, and every morning you can get up at 3, 4 in the morning till 6 in the morning or so, and there's temples everywhere. And you walk around, you'll see people. It's the street, and then from the street will be an opening, and inside the opening will be a murti, and they're all worshiping Hanuman. So everywhere they're worshiping Hanuman. Do they eat meat or not? I don't know. Some of them might, some of them don't. You know what I mean? So I got your point. So that's the temples, and they're ringing the bells.
We have a
ring the bell. Yeah, go ahead.
We have a saying in our so-called local language here. In the refrigerator, you have anda, means eggs, but in front of your house, you have Hanuman Jhanda. Fridge mein anda, bhare Hanuman Jhanda. You know, Hanuman's flag. They have eggs in the refrigerator, but right in front of their house, they have a big Hanuman Jhanda, meaning, with Lord Hanuman's flag on it. Fridge mein anda, bhare Hanuman Jhanda. You understand?
I don't, but everyone else does.
Can you explain it? Fridge mein anda, bhare Hanuman Jhanda. Amiya Ghosh Prabhu, you can explain.
Maya Ghosh got it for sure.
So, Jai Prabhus.
Jai.
Go ahead, Andrew Ananda Prabhu.
Oh, no, I was kind of just expressing a chord, saying, Jai.
Oh, Jai.
Kind of.
And in my understanding, if we sincerely follow Prabhupada's 4 regulative principles, then we don't need any other constitution.
All right.
And that is a perfect society.
Yeah, but if you wanted GBC as Prabhupada did, you have to have a GBC charter, which we have, and then the GB have to follow it, even though, and that's also his instruction, right? So it's hard to say.
Yes.
Prabhupada's instruction is pretty pervasive. It goes all over the place. But
no, but these principles
what-
they apply to everyone. I think that's what he was talking about.
Yes,
Amiya
I
Ghosh
was
not
saying that
talking
if
about.
we sincerely follow these 4 principles, we can build a perfect society.
of course.
Yeah.
Which 4
But society
principles?
means management also. Yeah, society means management also, and the management instructions have to be applied. That what Srila Prabhupada has written and given us.
When you said 4
Following the
principles, what do you refer to?
So
meat eating,
no meat eating, no gambling,
Yeah.
illicit
Regular.
sex, and regulatory
Now,
principles.
you need to understand, though, that those 4 principles are just for the Kinista Adhikaris. When you go to Madhyam Adhikari, you don't need the regulated principles because you're not thinking about such things at all.
Yes.
Obviously, the only reason to follow the regulated principles, or say you have to follow these 4 regulated principles, because your mind is going around wishing you didn't have to. And you'd
Right.
like to try one of the 4 you'd like to break one or more of the regulated principles. So as the 4 regulated principles bring people to the point of being able to not go crazy when they're trying to study Krishna consciousness. It takes away their avenue to destruction.
That's that's what I've been thinking about. At least I come from a meat-eating family, so these whenever they're cooking some kind of flesh, I can kind of tell, okay, this is this is that, this is that. But for these children who are growing up in the Krishna consciousness movement, they're like a clean slate. They haven't been exposed to these things, right? And they're more pure. They're more pure. So these things should be naturally, it should be natural for them to follow, right? A kid growing up, father who's been a devotee for 30, 40 years, and for them, it should be very easy for them to achieve the Madhya Madhikari platform if they're educated.
Oh, no. No, Madhya Madhikari platform must be achieved by surrender to Krishna, not by simply following 4 regulated principles.
No, I'm saying they have a head start. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. It's quite the opposite. Their parents have the head start. They want to be devotees, but they never train their children nicely. The children don't understand anything except how to hang out on the street with the other kids of the other devotees. They don't. Usually, they're not very good philosophers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that these devotees of these Hare Krishna children. Well, we have talked about that already. They were molested. So that is the problem.
Not all of them, but the parents were not. The parents did not. The ones that were at home, the parents did not guide them. The ones that went to Gurukula were treated brutally, physically, and sexually molested. So you can hardly get a good result out of that.
Right.
Some of them became sincere devotees, but they were wounded. They were like people that come out of the war with missing arms and missing legs, trying to become athletes. It's just, it's hard for them to be devotees because my generation deliberately destroyed them because Prabhupada said, your children will be more advanced than you are. So all the people that wanted to be gurus eventually or temple presidents or in charge of stuff or GBC, all of those people thought, I better not let those kids get in the way or they'll take away my job.
They consciously did this or they unconsciously did it? What do you think?
Both.
You think
because
both?
Kamal Krishna said, I don't want anyone to join the movement who is more intelligent than me.
Wow, such an envious mentality. Oh, wow.
Well, it was not so much envious. It was, how would you control people? You have to control. If you want to control people and you know what your capacity is, then you want to control others who have a lesser capacity.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I've noticed. I think that's one of the reasons why they.
But that's the problem, isn't it? Because
Yeah, that is a
controlling
problem.
people with a lesser capacity does not produce
Good results.
madhyamataris.
Yes, yes, yes. It produces.
Madhyamataris. It doesn't produce people coming up to the spiritual platform, but it produces people that will grovel in front of you, obey you, and look at
Yes.
you adoringly and bring you flowers and drink the water from your feet.
Right, right. That's a that's a very good point. Now I'm looking at it with hindsight, with all the gurus that have come here. It's pathetic. You know.
Well, what's the pathetic part?
Well, that's what you said, licking the feet and kissing the toes.
Well, yeah. So they have deliberately gathered people that they hope
Yeah.
are less intelligent than they are. If there's
Yes.
some genius person with a spiritually highly realized person came in, they would not surrender to Vaisheshika or someone like that.
That's you're right.
Why would they want to take initiation when they can think and feel and act circles around them?
Right, right, right.
You know?
Yeah,
So-
that's what. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, no intelligent person would join because they know Prabhupada.
Right.
You know.
So our goal here is to get those intelligent people onto the Zoom call so that we can progress vertically without getting caught up in all this relativistic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
If it's relative, it's Maya. Literally. Anything that's relative means temporary.
relative
Right.
means temporary. Right, right. Yeah.
Because you're comparing one thing to the other.
Yeah, two relative things. Right.
Yes. So what happens is we are searching differently. We're searching for the absolute. And when you reach it, we begin to tremble in spiritual ecstasy,
Right.
which
So
is a lot different than being a good old boy in the world.
right. So my question to you is, I have two children, one boy and girl, and I want them to come up to at least the Kanishta Adhikari platform really fast, and then maybe even progress to the Madhya Madhikari if they feel like they can do it. So what tips do you have? Or first of all, we must teach them they're not these bodies, and the regulated principles must become secondary, meaning that they have no desire to break any of the regulated principles, right?
Well, that's the minimum standard for the Kinestadikari,
Yes.
regulated principles. If
Yes.
you want to be it's what they do. The guy walks in off the street, long hair, smoking a cigarette, half drunk, and he says, I want to join the temple. He said, well, first of all, you have to follow the 4 regulated principles. Oh, yeah? Okay, so he starts doing that. Then you have to shave your head. What? Yes. Okay, can I keep the back part? Oh, yeah, that's called the Sika. So you can have people will say a guy has long hair to his shoulders. He cuts all of his hair off except the part at the back, like a ponytail. And people think, you must have been a devotee your whole life. How else did you get your Sika to grow out that far?
Right, he's just a hippie on the street.
Yeah, that's what it was like back in the beginning. We were shaving up hippies, and they all had long Sikas.
So they were in the movement 30, 40 years.
Yeah, that's the idea. And the movement was only 5 years old.
Right.
So that's the tendency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's.
So it's for the tip or whatever is simply that make sure your children get exposure to Krishna's pastimes. Right now, it's hard to get children to do that because they all want to watch cell phones and video games and stuff like that.
Right. You're right. That's what I've.
So that is a direction away from. So you need to have a balance, just like people go to school and people have their recreation. So the school part is they can learn the beauty and pleasure and love and wonderfulness of Krishna consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they want to watch a video game, they can watch a video game later because all their friends will be doing it.
Right, right.
But the main thing is there's no formula to become a Kanistha Adhikari. To become a Kanistha Adhikari, you have to grow weary of the Madhyama, to become a Madhyama Adhikari, you have to grow weary of the Kanistha Adhikari platform.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, every time you reincarnate as a Kanistha Adhikari, you begin to say, been there, done that, been there, done that.
Wow,
You know?
wow, right. This,
Beautiful. Oh, isn't that a beautiful girl? Been there, done that,
yeah,
Wouldn't you like her for your wife? Been there, done that. How about a
yeah,
nice
that's what I'm
car?
thinking.
Been there, done that. At some
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
you just get to the point where you say, "Gag me with a spoon." I mean, I don't need to have all of this crap in my life. What I need is to surrender to. I want to please Krishna. I like going to the temple with my wife and kids, and the baby starts crying, and I have to take him outside, and then there's the deity, and it's very attractive. I wish I could spend more time meditating, but I can't because my family has so many needs, and I have to take care and make sure they're all doing okay. Well, gradually you get to the point where you don't really want to do that anymore. In this lifetime, you can be Vanaprastha or Sannyas. In another lifetime, you can become Naistika Brahmachari.
Right.
And in that status, you're free to enter into the process to become a Kanistha Adhikari. But that comes at the highest end of Madhyama, of Kanistha. What did I say? Kanistha Adhikari? You come in to become a Madhyama Adhikari, the lowest level of Madhyama Adhikari you can become coming from Kanistha Adhikari. But until you're fed up with Kanistha Adhikari, you're not going to want to do that. You want to keep on doing this, doing what people do, In other words, the Kanistha Adhikari is a human experience. It's a social experience. It's a human experience.
Okay. The social.
But it's an experience by which you begin to realize that you're not this body, you're spirit soul. But there's no final conclusion to Madhyama Kanistha Adhikari at all. You keep going.
What do you mean? What do you mean final conclusion?
You keep on being a Kanistha Adhikari as long as you want to do Kanistha Adhikari things.
Acha.
There's no graduation moment from Kanistha Adhikari. When you want to become to a Madhyama Adhikari platform, that means that you have to realize that you don't need to be involved in all those other things anymore. That's the genuine sannyas. He says, I don't need to be involved in all that stuff. Everybody's going mad after wine, women, and so on. I don't need to be involved in any of that stuff.
Jai. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And that way he can begin his inner journey. The Kanistha Adhikari is inner journey developing on the basis of outer journey, meaning actions, things that you do.
Would you please bless me that I can do that, all of that you are saying? Please bless me, all of you.
I chant my japa. I bow down to the deity. I eat the prasadam. I say Haribol to my God brothers. I bow and offer obeisances. These are all things that you do, and they're purifying, and they must be done. I'm not going to say don't do them. Quite the opposite. I say do them. But that's not the Madhyama Adhikari platform. It's when you have done all those things to the point of being satisfied by the outcome of offering obeisances and doing all that stuff, then you think, what is further? What's further than that? What's beyond this? What's beyond this whole context? What's beyond this temple full of very advanced devotees who have good knowledge of Shastra and they're talking to each other and are very wonderful to be around, and they have never is like that song, never is heard a disparaging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. song, cowboy song called Home on the Range. Where never is heard a discouraging word, and the clouds are not, and skies are not cloudy all day. So it's an ideal thing. So you get through that stage, then you want to get to, that opens the door to the possibility of the Madhya Madhukari platform. And that platform is where you begin to develop pure unalloyed love of God. Or you develop pure unalloyed love of God as Kadisha, but that's where you mature that feeling until there's nothing left but that feeling and the expression of that feeling in so many myriad actions and forms of activity.
So Madhya Madhukari can, Kanishta Adhikari can fall down. Can a Madhya Madhukari fall down too?
Yes, that's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said the Madhya Madhukari is under the control of Paramatma, or Krishna in the heart, Vishnu. Not he said Vishnu, but we say Paramatma is Vishnu. And but the Guru, your bona fide Uttamakari spiritual master, is watching your behavior from the outside to make sure you don't make a mistake and fall down.
So
become deluded. So a Madhya Madhukari can fall down.
Prabhuji, can you repeat the last line, please?
What?
Can you repeat the last line? Said.
I said a Madhya Madhukari can fall down, but he's protected by Krishna in the heart, Vishnu, Paramatma, and he's protected by his spiritual master, who does not allow him to fall down.
And who is watching us from? Who is watching us?
Your spiritual master?
No, who is watching us? Krishna is watching us from outside.
No, he's not bothering with that. Krishna doesn't watch us.
Paramatma, he's saying watching it.
We're not even, what did he say?
No, you were saying that in the Madhya Madhukari stage, the spiritual master is keeping a watchful eye on the Madhya Madhukari
the spiritual master, not Krishna, but the spiritual master, yes.
Okay, the spiritual master. So, but
Krishna's
what if the spiritual master? No, I'm saying not Krishna, but Paramatma. So if your spiritual master has left, and who's then guiding? Paramatma? Or if you're trying to be a
question. Well, the spiritual master to the Madhya Madhukari hasn't really left.
Acha. He takes shelter of his instruction.
You're being guided by every breath you take. If you're a good kanista, you will come up to the point of being guided. We have to get over the addiction to these kanista initiators who you can't depend on for anything.
You can't. You said you cannot depend on them.
Cannot depend on these kanista initiators.
Yeah, initiators.
But on the bona fide spiritual master, why not? He's with you all the time. If you're, put it this way, if you're with him all the time,
he's with you. Yes.
Then he's with you all the time.
Yes, that's the shloka of the Bhagavad Gita. One who thinks of me, I'm never lost. So one who's always thinking about the spiritual master, he's always there to guide him in the form of whatever.
Yes. Well, Paramatma.
Yes, Paramatma.
But the spiritual master's vibration is different than that of Paramatma. Because Paramatma doesn't tell you what to do. You tell him what to do.
Right.
Anybody who wanted to be a bully and beat up somebody bigger than he was should become a conditioned living entity because he can beat up God. Paramatma's in the heart. When I say beat him up, everyone tries to enslave Paramatma. Oh, I want to make $1 million on the stock market. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. I want to race my car. Oh, I want to seduce those women. I want to do this. I want to get drunk. I want to do all these things. What is that? That is the act of beating up Paramatma. Because we expect Paramatma is going to facilitate that. And to whatever degree it's possible he does.
Right. According to
He
your.
teaches us to,
Right.
he will show you which is the best bottle of wine in the wine shop, if that's what you're into. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah.
But what is really horrible, it's horrible the Paramatma does it. No, because you're part and parcel of God, you are not put in a position to be denied anything that you can have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of Paramatma, is because you are part and parcel of God, you may have forgotten Krishna, but Paramatma hasn't forgotten you.
Right.
Krishna himself, threefold bending form in Goloka, doesn't pay attention or give a fig what you're doing. He really doesn't. As that Prabhupada said, I call it a shloka, it's as good as a shloka. He said, a devotee doesn't even want Krishna. Let Krishna play with gopis and let me stay here and serve him.
Right.
So that indicates that Krishna is not involved with you. He's only involved with you as much as you are involved with him.
Mm-hmm.
And to go through and become the Madhyamadikari, you can do that. But in order to become the Madhyamadikari, you have to want Krishna. You have to want Krishna. And how do you want Krishna? You can't have Krishna by wanting Krishna. But you have to want Krishna enough to say, I like to say, fan him with a peacock fan until he's addicted to your fanning. He finds pleasure and he doesn't want you anywhere except in his presence. Then boom, you become an Uttama Adhikari. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Avil Ghosh likes that. And it's true. Why? What is there not to like?
Yes.
Right.
So for your kids to become Uttama Adhikaris, they will, eventually. It just depends on which of the 10,000 years will it occur of the golden age of Kali.
Right.
We're determined this is the league for the 10,000 years of the golden age of Kali. This is the league of the 10,000 years of the golden age of Kali. But we don't have to say the whole thing. We can say this is the league for the 10,000 years, then we wink at each other because we know what the rest is. We can agree. But if we want to tell people, you can publish it and we cannot use the whole thing, Oh yeah, we're in the league for 10,000 years. Oh, the golden age of Kali? Yeah, how did you know? Oh, I read it in a pamphlet somewhere. See, we are making things available for everyone.
So anyone who's watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever they're seeing it, they can participate in our everyday Zoom calls. We're having it here all over the world. Anyone can participate via Zoom. And we have devotees from...
They have to email you to get linked?
Oh, yes. Yes. So they can see this video and just message me, or they can call me. My phone number is, secret phone number, if you're watching it, is 916-430-0045. And you can participate. So just send me a message.
You have to say it 3 or 4 times.
916-430.
Still trying to find a pen. Go ahead.
Oh, it's recorded in archive. So it's 916-430-0045. We have a WhatsApp group where all the devotees are there. And whenever we broadcast, we put the link there and you can participate at any time you like. So our meetings are usually 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And you can...
Say it again, your phone number.
Okay. My phone number, if you like to join, is 916-430-0045.
One more time.
One more time, okay. 916-430-0045.
That's what they do on ads on the internet.
Oh, they do
do
that.
it about 4 or 5 times, yeah. Because people are grabbing their pen, They can't find their pen, and they find it doesn't have any ink in it, and they have to find another pen. By that time, they can't remember the number. But anyhow, you said it was a secret number, right?
Yes. So the secret
I
is out.
didn't, I didn't listen to it
Very good.
because I don't want to have your secret.
Jai. Amir Ghosh Prabhu, last minute questions. Door knobbing time. No? Unmute
Stephen?
yourself, please.
Prabhuji, let's
Unmute
chant
yourself.
together.
Okay.
Jai. Yeah, I
Hare
think you
Krishna.
found.
Huh?
Say.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Prabhuji.
Say.
What-
No,
Prabhuji,
what
what
were
are
you saying? Oh, I think you found some satisfaction tonight.
Yes.
Jai.
This
Haribol.
is it. The secret is not thinking through the body. When we think through the body, we become panicky when we come across transcendental vibration. Why? Because the transcendental vibration doesn't allow us to think inside the body.
Hmm.
So when we get into the, you serve tonight, people are almost panicking. They were trying to, because they didn't want to, they were terrified that they had to get outside their body and they weren't sure what that would be like. But we keep practicing, and practice makes perfect. In the case of our association, practice makes not only perfect, but spiritually perfect, which is the whole idea, right?
Right. Sometimes when I'm working and these material desires come, and I'm like, wow, these desires are coming, but it's not really me, these desires. So separating ourselves from these desires and seeing, oh, this is a desire, but this is not actually a pure desire. It's not.
Well,
it's not.
the final way to do that is to beat your mind 50 times with a shoe. You get the
Right.
mind to get out of the body, because it's the
Right.
body that wants to function with sexual or eating karmi food
Right.
or whatever
Yes.
body.
Yes.
So you say, wait a minute, and
Right,
you
that's what I
say
said.
to the mind, I
Yes,
beat you
that's what I
now 50 times with a shoe. Get out of there. You're
Yeah,
not
that's
part of that. But I want to be. I like it. It's attractive. Oh, I want
Right,
to
right.
be there. I want to try. That girl is so cute.
Right.
But you
Bam.
say, no, bad mind. Bang, bang, bang. Ouch,
Right.
ouch. Why are you hurting me? You're supposed to be a devotee. Why are you using violence on me? You misogynist pig. Because
right.
you're not supposed to be touching anything in the body. Stay out of the body. Stay with me. Yes. And you'll have, if you want to have a good time, I will show you a good time. I am the jiva, and you are the mind. And if you want to have a good time, hang out with me, not with that creaky, robotic, rusty, falling apart, farting and puking and pus coming out of the pores and the body.
Yes.
I mean, what do you want to do that for? I mean,
Right.
what is the use of associating with something, pus, blood, stool, urine, so many of them, pus, blood, the bodies, pus, blood, stool, and urine. Then Prabhupada adds so many nice things.
So many nice things.
Yeah, he's saying that ironically. How nice is pus, blood, stool, and urine? I mean, it's something that people avoid, and yet everyone is involved. The body is involved. Therefore,
Right.
the jiva says, come on, you little bitch, come out of there. No. Yes, I say yes. Well, what's your authority? I am part and parcel of Krishna. What's your authority? Oh, I'm your humble servant. Get out of the body now and come to me.
Jai. So, should we end it here, devotees? Oh, go ahead.
Do you have to be so gruff with me? No, I don't have to talk tough like a boxer. I don't have to be tough with you. But I feel like it right now. So get out of there and come to me. Yes.
Jai.
Emil Ghosh, you're not late for work, right? No, Jai.
Jai Prabhu. Amir Ghosh, you're muted. So you want to say something last, and then we'll end it here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama.
Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Well, you know
Uh,
what I just found out? We cannot have church on Zoom. Did you notice that everybody was broken up in different
Yes.
Yeah.
time frames?
Yes, yes.
We couldn't chant together. We were trying to chant together. We couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think we were all aware that we were doing multiple rounds. I think we were just
Yeah.
thought we were doing the one, but we could. I mean, you could actually try
So,
practice. Try a little
Andrew
practice.
Ananda, may I ask you a question? You have this incredibly interesting room that you live in. Or is that your room? Is that where you
No.
live?
This is the kitchen area.
Well, what, do you have an apartment?
No, I'm currently